Hello and welcome, this is Noah with Nomad Gaming, and thank you for joining us for another video about the Marvel Champions LCG. Marvel Champions is a living card game produced and distributed by Fantasy Flight Games, and if you were looking for a place to stay up to date on your content, strategy, deck building, and of course gameplay, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned to the channel for more to come. Today we are bringing you an exciting new video reviewing the second hero from the Rise of Red Skull expansion, that is Spider-Woman. She brings fantastic new gameplay elements to the table and a lot of strategy for you and me and anybody else who enjoys deck building. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at our hero and see what we're going to be working with. Of course, our hero card comes as a two-sided identity card. On our alter ego side, we have Jessica Drew for 3 recover, and shield spy with the double agent ability. The double agent ability is where her real creativity and strength comes in. She says choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. You must include an equal number of cards from those aspects in your deck, and then she has the action, look at the top card of any deck, limit once per round. But this ability to play with 2 different aspects lets us pair up and maybe patch holes in some of our weaker strategies. I don't know, pairing aggression and justice lets you have both damage and thwart. Pairing leadership with anything lets you take advantage of things like ally recursion with some of the more powerful allies from some of the other aspects. Being able to toss in some protection cards allows us to get extra healing or other utility out of that. I mean, there are a lot of different ways to mesh together these aspects and to create unique strategies for Spider-Woman, and I am very excited to explore that and to continue to find out what is best when running her. Let me know in the comments below what you found to be useful in terms of aspect pairings, strategy pairings, and what is working well with this Spider-Woman hero, both in solo and multiplayer play. Flipping over though and taking a look at our hero form, we've got Spider-Woman. She has this base stats of 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. She's an Avenger Spy, but she has the Superhuman Agility ability, which is an interrupt, which says when you play an aspect card, Spider-Woman gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 defense until the end of the round. Limit once per round for each aspect. This is pretty exciting. She just grows and grows every turn. Most turns you're going to have her at 2 or 3 across these stat lines. It is possible to get her up to 5 on all these stat lines and then take advantage of that with some built-in readying or some other things to have fun with her, building up her and taking advantage of her stats as either an attack or a thwart. And then this is till the end of the round, so you get to keep that defense boost through the villain's turn. Having that available to you can be a lifesaver at some points. Very exciting, a lot of fun to work with, and we'll talk more about that as we dive through our signature cards. She does have a hand size of 6 in Alter Ego and a 5 in Hero with 11 hit points. Let's see how that stacks up against the other heroes in the game. Looks like she's on average with most of her stats, hit points, hand size, Alter Ego, and Hero, and her Recover are all right there on average. And then Thwart, Attack, and Defend are coming in a little bit below average. Excuse me there, are coming in a little bit below average, but they get boosted so much by her signature pool and other cards that she play that she's really not fair to say that she's got below average stats. But fun to play, very excited for this. Let's continue through and take a look at our signature pool. Of course, the signature pool is the 15 cards that come with every hero and must be included in their deck. We have an ally card, we've got a couple of resource cards and a support, and then we have a set of cards that are both aspect specific and Spider-Woman cards. But let's jump in and take a closer look at our signature ally. Everybody's excited for Captain Marvel Carol Danvers. She's a 4-cost ally with 3 health. She has 2 thwart and 2 attack with 1 consequential damage on each one of those. And she is an Avenger with the response after Captain Marvel uses her basic power, draw a card. So she can either thwart or attack, take that damage, and then you draw a card. This is huge deal, card advantage. Repay or getting back the resources that you're spending on her is very useful. If you build into the right deck, you can figure out ways to ready and heal her. There's leadership cards that can do that. You can heal her with protection cards. You can combine those aspects because of Spider-Woman's greatness, and you can really take advantage of this as like an extra Avengers Mansion that also takes off thwart or attacks. This is great. Awesome card. Very excited to be able to play her. A lot of fun to get this on the table, but let's break through here and check out the other non-aspect signature cards that we have. There's 2 copies of Finesse, which is our resource card. You're going to want this early. Look for it in your opening hand. be interested in mulliganing to get this into your opening hand, because you want to get these down and set up so that you can play as many resource cards as possible later in the game. Not resource cards, as many aspect cards as possible later in the game. Jessica Drew's Apartment there in the middle is a 1-cost support. It lets you search the top 5 cards of your deck for an aspect card and add it to your hand while you're in Alter Ego. This is probably the best apartment that we've got. I mean, there are other good ones. Steve's Apartment is good, but this is definitely pulling out an aspect card, getting it into your hand, all at the cost of being in Alter Ego form. If you're in Alter Ego form, then this is great. This is not something I'm prioritizing getting on the table. But if it does end up on the table and I have the opportunity to use it, it is definitely a plus every time. And then finishing up over here with Self-Propelled Glide, there are 3 copies of this card, and it is pretty awesome. It is a 1-cost event that says Hero Action Ready Spider-Woman. If you stopped right there, this card would be fantastic and playable. Once you've boosted her stats by 1 or 2, being able to ready her and get another use out of her is just huge value, especially for 1 cost. But then she also gets the aerial trait, and right now there's a couple of ways to take advantage of that. Get Over Here being one of those from the aggression aspect, but I expect, because of things like the bike from Hawkeye's pack, that we're going to see a lot more ways that aerial is relevant coming forward into the game, and so this is going to be even more important. So it's great with just ready, but it's probably going to be even better with the aerial, and I'm happy to have 3 of these in our signature pool. Let's take a look now and jump into the aspect-specific cards that we have for Spider-Woman, and there are 4 of them in this signature pool, 2 of each. The first one in our aggression one is Venom Blast. This is deal 5 damage to an enemy for 2 cost. This is a great return for the cost, 5 damage for 2. You can pay for this with your finesse. This is a very good card, and it's going to find that it gets played a lot. Inconspicuous is a fantastic card, 1 cost for 3 threat off of a combination of the schemes. This is really cool. You could take off threat from a couple of them. You could set up To the Rescue. You could take it off of a couple of different ones and leave 1 threat on a few so that you can take advantage of Skilled Investigator on consecutive turns. A lot of different options for this. Very useful and just high value, 1 cost, and the flexibility to remove it from multiple schemes is pretty awesome. Pheromones down there for leadership is a 2-cost event that says Hero Action Stun and Confuse an Enemy. Probably one of the best cards that has been printed. This is 2 cost, and you get to paralyze the enemy for 2 different activations. You're going to use this on the villain a lot of the time, and there's a couple of really big minions that you might throw this onto, but putting this on the villain and then managing your form is pretty awesome. And if you're playing in solo play, which is one of my primary modes of play, Pheromones is going to let you have a ton of control over what is happening in the game. And then finally we get Contaminant Immunity. This is also a 2-cost event. It's a hero action, heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman and give her a tough status card. Again, letting you manage what is happening in the game, giving you the opportunity to heal, and then giving that tough status card so that you can have the extra level of protection is fantastic. Really excited for this card. Don't forget, all of these cards are giving us a +1 bonus to our stat line when we play them, and so everything about this is just good, and more good. Let's jump over and take a look at some of the strategies that we think we're going to employ with this. I'll go ahead and tell you now with this hero review, I'm not going into the 4 specific aspects each individually because this is a really unique hero, and I think we're going to do a different video that we've been working on where we talk about some of the aspect pairings that you can do with Spider-Woman and what they entail, what cards you want to have in, what benefits you have from the different pairings, and how to take the most advantage of that double agent ability. But let's talk about some general strategies for her here, though. First, you've got low-cost aspect cards are going to have huge value for her. Stuff that was maybe middling cards before but have an incidental benefit really do have an added value with Spider-Woman, because the more aspect cards you can play in a single turn, the higher you can get her stat line. She's really a Swiss Army knife of heroes. I mean, if you look at those 4 cards right there across the bottom, her aspect-specific signature cards allow her to do everything in the game better than other heroes have done them before. 5 damage for 2, 3 threat from anything that you want, stun and confuse an enemy, and then heal 3 and get a tough. All of those also give her a +1 stat line, and then she can thwart, attack, and even use that as a defense on the comeback from the villain. Everything about her just screams utility. Build her to fill in the gaps where you need. Build her for a really strong solo synergy. It's like playing solo with 2 players if you can get this deck honed in right. So very excited for her. And then the last one there, are you ready? Don't forget to include some readying effects. Things that ready are added bonus value for her, because her stat line is going to be so much better than other heroes. When you ready her, you are getting more value out of that ready than you would think you are. So really exciting hero. I want to hear how you guys are playing her. I want to hear what you guys are doing to make her a key part of your gameplay. Let me know what you're pairing with her. Let me know what's been successful. Let me know what's not been successful so that we don't waste our time trying it out. But drop a comment below and share your thoughts with us. That's going to wrap it up for us today in this hero review video. If you've made it this far, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video on your social media and other accounts so that people can enjoy it, and turn on your notifications. But until next time, folks, let's go game.